Hey everybody, welcome to the VR Game Nights. My name is Sir Gray and I'm joined by Sir Aga, and this is the show where we talk about all of this week's VR news because we love VR. We love video games, we love VR. And you can see I took my shelves down, but I didn't put new ones up yet. Trying to get to that. So I saw Sir Aga's Star Wars poster. You see it over there? Way over there? So I was like, yeah, I can post this. So I put them up because the wall behind me has marks from the chairs backing up into it. But in any case, welcome to the show this week. Sir Aga, how are you, my fellow game knight?
I'm good. Good. A little tired, but otherwise good to go.
Well, let's take a look at that first story. And I think, one of the things I've been trying to do is whenever I see awesome sales, right, I'm trying to share them it's a new feature of YouTube where they have like a community channel tab where you can actually like post like it's a forum almost. And there's a lot of I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but there are just a ton of sales going on. This is via Focus's story about the PlayStation Summer uh, store sale or some PlayStation Store summer sale. We'll get it right. Um, and just a ton of great. They actually think they list them in here. Just a ton of great Blood and Truth. That's that one I keep talking about. That's like a exclusive. That's so highly rated. But just a ton of great VR games on sale. And there was a ton last week, which I posted on both on the Gaming Show and over here. And there's another set of games that are on sale this week. So I'm going to put those in the show notes. I don't want to kind of belabor the point. We have Green Man Gaming. We have Humble Bundle. We have Steam. Now, the links to Green Man Gaming and Humble, those are affiliate links, so they give us like a percent or two if you do buy using those. But so hopefully we can replace the posters. In any case, did you pick up anything on sale this week or last week? I know you've been so very busy.
No, no. So because I've been on VR probation, my VR game cycles, which are normally like forced, like I would normally have 2 blocks scheduled during the month. That's usually what drives me to go out and look to pick something new up.
Yep.
So outside of that impetus, nothing has come across my radar that I've jumped on. No.
Now I had let me go to my notes here. I just took the glasses off, so it's like now I won't be able to read them. But some notables, and there's just a ton of games. Again, I'll put links to all the games in the show notes after the show. But some notables. I think you were the one who turned me on to JetX.
Oh yeah.
Get this right. Now this game I think originally retailed for $15, right? $15. It's on sale for like five and change, unless you buy the bundle
Right.
with JetX and JetX expansion, and then
Right.
it's three.
Okay. That's a
Wait,
pretty, that's a
how can
nice
you
incentive.
how can you, and then Seeking Dawn. I think the arm on my chair is loose. Seeking Dawn is only $12. I've bought that. It's a four-player co-op game. Well, you can play it single player too, but I'm looking for people to pick that up, friends to pick that up. Um, And this is one I sent over to Sir Aga during the week and I actually posted on Reddit too. You'll see me on Reddit sometimes as Zero, as well as Greylock. Seven Wonders, seven VR Wonders. It's totally free on Oculus. Now, somebody posted on Reddit like, yeah, it kind of has mixed reviews, but I'm like, it's free. I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
you click a button, you own it for life. So, but
Well,
anyways.
it's an interesting dialogue, right? Because it transcends the VR space. But we just we're in this time where there's tons of stuff. Like there's too many things, and even when things are inexpensive and free, it's still an opportunity cost. So you know, I know for me when those games, lots of arguments with other gamers who are like, well, there's so many free games. I mean, free doesn't make it great. So,
That's
um,
true. Yeah.
so it depends. And I know for me, I mean, as a for instance, you mentioned it was free. I didn't move on it either, and that's a little snobbish. But for me, like because I have to play so many new releases, conventional gaming during the year, like I it's hard for me to sidetrack to take the time to do these things that are more VR experiences and not directly games. Um, However, this has a huge I want to say, this is the Apollo thing that we're talking about, right?
No, the one that was free was the 7 VR Wonders.
Oh no,
And,
no, okay, right.
and
So
for
no,
me, it's
yes,
like everybody's seen the pyramids, but the other
right.
6 wonders of the world, what do they really look like? So these guys have rendered it in VR. I'm like, I'd been eyeing it for a while, but it was like $3 or $4. I'm like, yeah, but with it's free, yeah, maybe someday I'll be like all by myself and I'll be like, let's check that out. I did do the Apollo 11
Okay.
HD, and I actually put a video on that over at um, Live from the Oasis. You can tell it's so late here. It's like midnight here. It's actually not that late, but it feels like that. Anyways, and I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. And I think it was on sale, the combo for $5. Great,
Right.
great combo. But in any case, you know, I I have and I think a lot of people are in the same boat as me. We've bought more games than we can play.
Right. Right.
So when you see something for free that kind of interests you, it's not hard to pick up. But I want to get your take on this next one,
Yeah.
Sir Aga. And this is I thought this was pretty cool. Now I'm a space fan anyways, right? I love space. But
Yeah.
excuse me. Big Screen says they have over 5,000 RSVPs to watch the SpaceX launch. Now, I didn't get to watch that. This is from Road to VR.
Right.
I didn't get to watch that, but that's a lot of RSVPs, right? People are going to watch that live on the big screen TV,
Right. Right.
What do you think?
I mean, I think this is positive. I mean, I don't really know where the. I mean, I guess this is because Big Screen is a subscription service, right? You pay a rate and you get access to stuff.
No. Remember, we talked about this last week. Big Screen TV is that app, right, where
Right.
they added the 50 free TV channels.
Right.
And so, it's free. This would be free.
Right.
But
That's what I mean. You pay a flat rate, or are you saying there's no subscription model to it at
there's
all?
no subscription model at all.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, well, that reinforces my point. Like, I don't really understand the. So there's a gap here, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand what the money play is, and therefore I don't understand what the significance of the numbers is, right? Unless it ships advertising or whatever along with it. Like, if it's free, then who cares how many people signed up, right? I mean, like, you're not charging people for it, so there's no ROI. Like, I don't get it. But my point is, I think it's positive simply in that, if you look at demographics, right, of people, probably a good chance that there's a healthy Venn diagram overlap of tech nerds who would be into this and who are into VR and who are interested in space. I know at my last job, not my current one, we had a little more freedom and latitude. So when SpaceX was on, we would have it on up on our laptops, and everybody would be watching it. So and then if you're going to watch it and you have a VR headset, this is a great way to experience it. A little weird to me that those things happen during the work day. So I don't know what 5,000 people are out there not working during the day when a SpaceX launch is going on that are at home and so can put on VR headsets. But
they could be from Europe, because a lot of the SpaceXs, while they're at
true.
During our work day,
Right.
the Europeans, they're done work for the day. So,
Yeah.
but I just
No,
thought I have not seen 5,000 people in VR doing the same thing yet. So for me, this is kind of like a milestone, right? We can talk about Ready Player One, but this would be 5,000 people in VR. Now they're not in one big amphitheater,
right.
but it's 5,000 people in VR doing the same thing at the same time, all watching a single event, right? I don't think Oculus Venues has 5,000 people watching the NBA. Maybe they do, but I've never seen it published.
But this is 5,000 users out of a theoretical install base of roughly 4 million, right? I mean, if you take Rift,
Yes,
Valve Index, all the WMR, I think what we believe is that that market is roughly 4 million headsets, and we talk about that being at parity with what Sony has done just in their own ecosystem. So to me, it's still a relatively small amount. I actually, again,
it
I
is.
I agree with you. It's it's big uptake, but it's also small and kind of insignificant. So it's a mixture of both. I think this is more. I guess maybe the other thing I'm saying is this is more of a positive sign for a SpaceX launch than it is really about anything about VR. I guess is my
Excuse
thought on
me.
it.
No, and I appreciate that. To me, yeah, it's tiny, but yet I've watched some really popular live streams. There was not 5,000 people watching the live streams. I
Right,
mean,
right, right,
these were AAA companies doing a live stream, and they maybe had 400 or 500 people. So
right.
you know, you have
My
10 million people buy the game, but 300 or 400 show up for the live stream. So I
right.
guess that's my point. Now, go ahead.
My concern with this would be this is okay as long as when I'm in my headset, I can't see the chat. Because if I have to tune into YouTube to watch a live event, the first thing I'm scrambling for is how do I turn the chat off so I don't see all that toxic like frat boy teenager mess that like is a zero value conversation. Like, let me get that out of my view screen. So I would absolutely have to be able to douse that in VR.
Well, and that's that actually that's something I look for. You know,
Great.
it's like a curiosity for me because I have grandkids. I'm an older guy.
Right.
Um, I'm always very interested to see if is the audience just what you said, frat boys, teenagers, college students who are just like all over the top and you know or is it a more mature audience? That's one of the
Yeah.
things I look for whenever I'm on these, and it's typically a mix. But I want to ask you this question: have you ever
Yeah.
played a Star Wars game where you used Force powers?
Yeah. Yeah. Jedi Outcast, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. Yeah.
Jedi Knight, man, what a great game! I got the box
Yeah.
right over there. I'm like
Yeah.
so tempted to go grab it. I wish they would redo Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, and all those games
Right.
in
Right.
VR. But we're gonna get a little bit of it. We're gonna get a
Okay.
little bit of it because the next story is that there's
Ooh.
tease. They've teased concept art and images from Vader Immortal 2. From my understanding is Vader Immortal is a three-part uh, uh,
Oh,
you
okay.
know series.
Sure, totally. So did you not have force powers in Vader Immortal in the first one?
Not really, no.
Was it just lightsaber
It was
battles?
mostly, well, yes.
Okay, all right,
Yes, I mean,
very interesting.
there's a story there, and I want to play it again. I want to play through it again on the Rift. I get the CV1 because it's free now. If you bought it on the Quest, you get it on the CV1,
Hmm.
um, or even on the Rift S. So I want to play through it again. It was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Um, I recently had this great idea where I was telling my wife I cleaned out the garage so we both can park in the garage now. We got a mountain of stuff we got to throw away, but I'm like, babe, when I pull out the two cars, I now have a huge arena area for my Quest. She kind
You
of looked at
do.
me cross-eyed. I'm like, but think about it. Now that I don't have to worry about wires, I don't have to worry about my
Yeah.
PC. I can just grab the Quest, run out there,
I,
and
I have thought about that a bit. So, but where I live, it gets so hot and it would be so humid. Like I would have to mod the garage to brick it up and and put drywall up and get AC ducted into there.
yeah, there's definitely a window in the spring and in the fall where it would work the best.
Mm.
I mean, I'm always posting on Facebook during the winter. Oh, it got hot today. It's minus 17 out. And then the summer we just had this week of, and I'm sure the people in the cities had it worse. We're in the country, but we had 90-degree weather all week. It was tough.
Right, right.
But in any case, I'm excited. I will definitely buy this if it's 9.99 again. I enjoyed the first one. I want to go back and replay the first one again and again. But one
Right.
of the things going from Dark Forces to Jedi Knight was the Force powers, and they were just awesome. and choosing which ones you had. So, not that I think this
Right.
will be at any level near the depth. I wish it was, but I still think it will be a lot of fun. Now you have a Rift S,
Right.
so if you're looking for something to play on it when you're off your moratorium, um,
Yeah.
I would say Vader Immortal. It was fun. It was worth $9.99.
Okay.
I
Did
mean,
you need a
it
lot of
was more.
space for it?
No. I actually played it in my camper.
Okay.
I have a Montana at the campground, and because of the layout, I actually couldn't get a very big area.
Right.
So I was think it was like 6 by 5. I think the area I drew.
Yeah.
So I had the Guardian coming up once in a while,
Right.
um, but it was a lot of fun.
So yeah, so if I recollect correctly, when we talked about Vader Immortal, the first one, and I see their names here, so it is that this is actually ILM
Yes.
and a development team within that effects studio who's actually doing this, which gives it huge credibility. So you can expect a Class A experience, and it's nice to see Disney, throwing money behind that kind of a project and extending it into its own um, franchise essentially with multiple iterations. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I have to agree on that. It's and I would love to hear what our viewers have to say, but um, you go to the movies, you pay $10 for a ticket, you pay ten
Oh
dollars
yeah,
for drinks, and
yeah. Now
food.
you can definitely buy a VR video game for less money than it takes to go to the movies. As
Yeah,
I just went to see Toy Story 4 on a Friday with myself and two children, and that was a $35 affair, and I'm like, for a matinee. So, uh, what was I going to say? So, is this a? Do we know when this is releasing? About still
uh,
no word on a release date. Okay,
I didn't see a hard release date,
right.
but these were the first images that came out, the first information that there will be force powers. It makes sense with the story because you
Yeah.
pretty much you learn how to use a lightsaber in the first episode,
Okay.
and so in the second episode for Vader to teach you force powers makes a lot of sense because he uses them, but you
Yeah.
don't use them. You don't know how to use them. You don't know what to do.
And I like that it's so quick on the turn of the initial launch of Vader Immortal and immediately getting a green light for a sequel. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, I some people would call it like a game on rails, but to me, it kind of harkened back to, that you think about Jedi Knight. It was a very linear experience.
Yeah.
There were some, dog legs you could take to get to places, different places, but I enjoy that. I enjoy the storytelling worked in with the gameplay.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
this
the key
next,
thing
go
is
ahead.
does it make you feel like a Jedi? That's all that really matters.
I think it will. I
Okay.
haven't. There's a dojo in there where you get to practice your lightsaber
Right. Right.
capabilities, and I haven't tried that yet. That's why I'm thinking, hey, maybe in the garage, because
Right.
because when you're swinging the lightsaber, it's easy. If you have a small 6 by 5 or 6 by 6 area, it's easy to get
Right.
your hands outside of that.
Okay.
Unless you're a munchkin, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much
Right.
movement. This one was something I wish that was available on the Rift or Windows Mixed Reality. It's only for Vive users, so you Vive people have an advantage here. But this is a game or an experience that was worked on with the American Museum of Natural History, and this is now available on Viveport. So just kind of throwing it out there as a PSA, but it's something I kind of, dinosaurs in VR are the best, and so I just wanted to throw that up there. If you have Vive, you might want to check this out. It's only, Viveport now supports Rift and Windows Mixed Reality, but this game was currently just Vive and Vive Pro.
Yeah. And it's a
So,
great thing to throw out because I feel like Viveport is the thing that like we don't talk about, and I think like not a lot of VR players, include in their revisitation schema of storefronts they should go check out.
yeah, then the Netflix of VR. I don't
Right.
have enough time to play the games I already have.
Right.
Being a dad, being a husband, being working full time. Um, Just I don't have the. But if you were like, let's say you're a college kid and strapped for cash, and you're in the VR Vibe, the Viveport Infinity, man, $10 a month or $12 a month, you get access to, it's like the Game Pass Microsoft has.
Right,
I
right.
mean, yeah, is there anything better? You get play all these games for very little money. Very
Right.
neat. Let's see here. What's next? What's next on the list? I thought this was really cool. Now we don't really talk about AR too much, but magically, this is, and I don't know if the picture comes through. This is again from Road to VR. Um, Basically, this undersea game, puts a puts like a aquarium or like a portal to the ocean in your living room. And I just thought it looked so cool. They got some new updates coming out where they now include your hands, so they can do hand tracking.
Right, right.
So if you put your hand between the glasses and the object, it'll occlude your hands, so you'll feel like, yeah, my hand. I guess beforehand, if you put your hand in front of the glasses, you wouldn't see your hand, but now it'll open up that space.
Okay.
So AR is a very interesting field. A lot of talk about Apple. Are they out of it? Are they in it? Um, I've seen a lot of that over the webs. And then there's this $700 pair of AR glasses where you can see the chat come up on them, see your texts come up on them,
Oh, nice.
actually watch movies on them. You can now buy these AR glasses on Amazon. So I don't know. To me, I hope VR and AR, and I think this will happen anyways, but I really hope they intersect because um, it'd be nice to have those AR features with VR. Not that I want to walk around with my Quest on my head like they do in Ready Player One, but um, it would be nice. $700 is too much for me though. To wear some glasses. I think the reviewer I was reading he's like, oh, now I can watch Netflix as I'm driving my riding lawnmower. I'm like, dude, are you not afraid of running over the dog or the kids, right? I
Right, right,
mean,
exactly.
I don't know. There's a certain level that I listen to podcasts when I mow, but I don't know if I'd want to have a movie in front of my
Right.
eyes. But you got any thoughts on AR? Are you excited about AR? Or?
um, I'm interested in AR. It's got to hit a usability threshold for me. And so uh, whatever they come up with, as a wearable, needs to be small enough and lightweight, but also powerful enough um, to warrant me using it. And then, what I want for AR is really kind of the HUD style overlay. Um, I want it. I need it to be able to bring out metadata associated with the things in the real world that I'm seeing. Um, and then I get a little hesitant about getting excited from AR because I, unfortunately, particularly given what's going on in the court systems now, right? What I want AR to do, my big use case is I'm bad with names, right? And so what I want is when I walk up to a person and see them at a party and they go, "Hey, nice to see you again," I just want all their data to come up on the screen, right,
Yeah,
connected to them with a
it's a
little
great use
line drawn
case.
to it
Yeah.
saying, this is Pat whoever, and 2 kids, 3 dogs. You met them previously on these occasions, right? Like
And
I'm interested in AR. I need AR to be actually helpful.
when you actually met them, what
Right,
and then over here their Facebook feed, so you say,
right.
"Hey, happy anniversary! It's good to see you. How did you
Well,
guys enjoy Cancun?"
right, and I mean, in the joke, and I know we're sidetracking a little bit, but I live in a small rural town where the town's only about 5 miles wide, and as soon as you're outside that 5 miles, you're out in farmland. There are a lot of people of very not very accommodating of diversity, and so we frequently get into these situations in town where you don't really know who you're talking to, and I've had more than one occasion where I've wanted to hire a person to do something on the house. And my wife, bless her heart, will go and look at their Facebook feed and find a Confederate flag or some other
Oh,
thing that we don't want to support, right? And then we'll be so absolutely, I would love to see you and then see your Facebook feed scrolling right in my visor, so I know who I'm talking to. That would be awesome. My fear and concern about AR is that we're going to go through a lot of they're going to get it working and cover the technical challenges, but then it's just going to provide kind of useless information for a long time. And then I think eventually we'll land on a point where it actually provides, something useful. And I would love it for driving. Like I would, because human beings, I mean, the two things human beings have the hardest time with conceptualizing is relative motion. Um, and there's one other one that has to do with like spatial geometry. I would love to see. I don't have that problem, but everybody else seems to. I would, however, like the metadata associated with it. Like I would like to see, like my relative closing speed on a vehicle, like ahead of me. I would like when it rapidly transitions, right? I would like to see the text then go red, right, to let me know, oh, that person has suddenly slammed on their brakes or slowed down. You're now closing them at like, an unsafe rate. So, but I think we're going to be. I think unfortunately AR is going to come and be implemented and implement kind of cutesy, soft skill kind of stuff before it actually provides like really good tactical data.
Yeah, you touched on a lot there. I have in my 2011 Charger, I have a feature that will warn me. Now, this was not many cars had it in 2011. I think all the new cars have it now. But if my closing speed is too fast, the
Okay.
car will give me an annunciation that
Okay.
I'm
All right.
closing too fast,
Right.
and
Right.
that is an awesome peace of mind feature.
Right.
I mean, you can't, it's like the little light that comes on in your mirrors or on the side of your car when somebody's in your blind spot.
Right.
It is
Right.
such
Right.
a huge peace of mind feature
Right.
that I can definitely say that in AR. I do think probably the majority of cases will be like the Facebooks where it's frivolous. I hate to say
Right. Right.
that, but it's frivolous. There's no but but I think people like you and I, we wanted smartphones because we saw the power and potential of them.
Right.
My
Right.
kids want smartphones so they can use the apps that make them have silly faces and
Right. Right. Yeah.
to start
Right.
their big eyes and you know
Right. I
so
have
that
like 30 different note-taking apps on my phone. That's what I use my phone for, is to take notes, and then yeah, then other people use it for other stuff. Yeah, so it's
yeah.
funny.
But but in any case, hey, this is a good piece of news here. And if you don't know this, I didn't know this until today. I read it somewhere. If you want to buy an index, they're nearly in stock, right? When I say nearly in stock, what you'll see here is 4 to 8 business days. So a week and
Okay.
a half max. They
Yeah,
should
that's not
ship.
bad at all.
That's not bad. That is not bad at all. So
Yeah.
now, not all of the models are like that, but the big kit, the kit that has everything in it. So no longer are you going to wait a couple of months. That's big news. So I think it seems like they're through the crunch with their hardware.
Right.
It's been really, people have talked it up. To me, it's a Gen 1.5 device
Right.
because it really does nothing on resolution or field of view. Okay.
Right.
I guess if you really, really pull it in on your eyeballs, you get a much wider field of view. But um, no inside-out tracking too, which is a killer for me because I have a buddy who just got a Rift S. He's like so excited. He just throws a headset on and he plays.
Right.
No
Yeah.
setting up all your sensors or your lighthouses or
Right.
anything.
When
But
it
I was,
works, it's a surreal experience.
yeah, yeah, and that was another story. I don't know if I have a slide on it, but there was some major updates to both the Oculus Quest and Rift S inside-out
Right.
tracking this week. So
Right.
I
Right.
don't.
Right. Right.
I know you haven't had a chance to throw yours on. My Quest, I didn't power it up this week because I've been playing on the Rift. Um, but they're saying that it's much improved, much improved. So that's
Right.
great. I'm glad they keep working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, this next story got me excited as a Quest owner. You probably yawn at it, but excuse me. Um, they're bringing Oculus Go apps. Now, there's like hundreds of Oculus Go apps, right?
Right.
And with the Oculus Go, you can turn around, so you get the whole VR experience that way. You
Right.
just can't move, like your controller is, you just can't move around in
Okay.
VR. But there are some awesome Oculus Go apps, and the fact that they're going that, and this is just common sense. I think this is kind of like making Xbox 360 games work on the Xbox
Yeah,
One. And to me, this was huge when they said, "Hey, we've got an emulator. We're working with developers. We're going to try to get a large portion of the highly rated Go games to work on the Quest
yeah,
later this year. We're not talking a couple years out. We're talking this fall, winter.
right,
So
right.
I don't know. What do you think? I think that's great.
It's great. It would be nice if at some point you could just say, an Oculus is an Oculus is an Oculus is an Oculus, right? And they all have access to the same content. So it's definitely moving in the right direction.
And I'll say it again. I really wish they gave there was a Quest and then a Quest Plus that could also hook to the computer. Like if there was a Quest Plus that was $600,
Right,
with whatever the $400 Quest memory is. If there was a Quest Plus that was $600 that would replace my CV1, I mean, I
right,
would have bought that. It's like I can do mobile and I can do PC.
right,
But
right,
I'm still hearing great things from the what is it, virtual desktop app, and actually, I still hear a lot of people saying they're having good experience with it, streaming their PC VR games to the
okay,
Quest. I have not
right,
tried
right,
it, and but again, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
okay.
Let's see here. Not too many stories left. I think we got them all this week, but let's go to this one. Um, and this is one I don't understand because so Oculus has these Facebook apps for the Go that they don't
Right,
have on the Rift.
okay,
And so now they're bringing the venues, which is where you can sit and watch a soccer game or a basketball game or different type of events. They're bringing that to the Quest, which is like, duh. But
right.
why isn't this on the Rift? I don't get it. Is it something to do with mobile? Is there like some licensing in there? Because you would think if Facebook was going to do something across the Oculus headsets, they would do it across all of them. It's like the PC version has more power. It can't be a power processing thing. Do you have any
Right.
ideas what could stop them from doing something like venues on the PC?
I'm not sure. The only thing that I can remember that kind of cues in as potentially being, um, I don't know, part of the tail of the tape is I want to say that I remember hearing or understanding that the Rift S um, was kind of hurried along at the last minute. I think what they actually really wanted to do was they wanted to release the Quest first. Um, and I remember reading something about the Quest not quite being along on the timeline they wanted to, and so they kind of rushed Rift S along at the last few stages. But I don't remember where I read that.
Well, I don't know. Part of me thinks it might be like some like you can do this with a mobile device, but you can't do it on the PC. Like they don't
Right.
want people joining in on PCs to watch soccer games or you know NBA games. Like there's almost like there's some licensing there. I don't understand. But what else do we have here? Okay, this is probably the biggest news I've heard all week, and we'll end with this. This is the last story I have, anyways. Prime Videos come into VR,
Okay.
but it's not just Prime Videos. So today, that's saying today, I can download an app to I believe it's to all the Oculuses,
Okay.
Oculus Quest Go and Gear. So I can now download an app to my Oculus Quest and watch Prime Video. Okay.
Right.
I mean, if I'm taking a plane trip somewhere, that's great, but I don't know why I would do that. I guess the kicker for me on this story was that they're also going to be trying to put a lot of effort into putting actual VR, 360 content on the service as well. So that
Okay.
that would be a reason. I mean, if there's something that comes out that's in 360, I think that'd be awesome, right? To see it
Right.
in your. But just watching regular Prime, I mean, maybe our viewers can let us know. But I'm not thinking of a use case again unless you're on a plane. of why you'd want to watch your Prime Video on your headset. Or if you're in a hotel and the TV's broken, just throw your Quest on and watch your videos. But um, but I think that's huge that they're supporting it, that they're jumping in there and supporting, especially the mobile devices.
Yeah, I think I mentioned before, like the neat thing about this, right, is the ability to watch something and not have somebody looking over your shoulder. If you're on a plane and you're watching something like I I've always hated like if I download some episodes of like Game of Thrones, right, to a laptop or a tablet, in particular usually a laptop, and like the angle that I have to sit the laptop on to get it to fit allows other people to see it, and then I'm like, oh, well, I don't know that this guy wants his kid, right, to see Game of
Yeah.
Thrones on the screen. So it's nice. I've never watched an episode of Game of Thrones on the plane. I throw that out to make a jarring example. My point being, this allows you, if you're at home and you don't want other people to see, what you're watching or whatever, this creates now an environment that you can go into and watch that stuff and not have everybody around you, being able to observe that content.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, especially if you are sitting in a row with kids,
Yeah.
you don't want them watching Game of Thrones. You
Right.
don't want to
Right.
make that decision for the adult.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah. So that's it. Did you hear any? I mean, let's just go into scuttlebutt mode. Did you hear any scuttlebutt this week that you want to talk about? Anything
Uh,
that in the VR world?
no, no, not that I can think of. It's actually kind of, I don't know. Maybe we could call it a slow news week. I know it definitely was on the conventional gaming side.
Yeah.
Um, so that it's kind of like all these crazy sales suck a little bit of the air out of the room. Um, with we just got done with Prime Day, so and now it seems like there were tons of stores that did mega summer sales to compete with Prime Day.
Yep.
So whereas before we used to go, oh, it's Prime Day, let's just look at that, and now it's like, yes, it's Prime Day, but like Best Buy and Target and Walmart and Woot, like, and all these places are doing something equivalent. So now you have to focus on that too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I got another Echo. They were $22,
okay, yeah.
and so I picked up another one for another room. But
Oh,
I did
nice.
find Anthem, so I decided my grandson's getting a little older, and I decided I've always wanted to play Anthem because
Okay,
I'm a big Destiny fan. It's kind of like their Destiny, and
right, right,
so for the let's call it the Gold Edition,
right.
it was $15 at Target.
Okay,
It was a disc, but I'm like that's actually good for me
right,
because you can share the disc. You can't
right,
share the digital download, right?
right, right.
So I picked $15 for Anthem. I forget if they call it the Legendary Edition or the whatever, but that was at Target. So I did pick
Okay,
up that, and I'm gonna play that through with my grandson. That's it's a fun game. But we tonight, like we had 4 people in Battlezone in VR.
right.
It was a blast. Um,
I
but
can imagine.
again, the guys do what the guys always do. They run into the fight, and then you're halfway through the game, and then everybody's like overexposed and dies.
Right, right.
But well, I
But
guess
yeah, I
that's
have.
it. Good.
Okay, no, I was just to say, yeah, I haven't heard anything, in the rumor mill or anything special about or specific to VR this week.
All right. Well, I think that's it for tonight's show then. I hope
All right,
everybody's having a great summer. Um, we'll be back
almost
next
over.
week. Almost. I know,
Almost
isn't
over.
it? It's still July though. We can say it. It's still July.
Yeah, but schools are going back. That's kind of what we measure that by in my household is when my wife and kids have to my wife has to go back to work and the kids have to go back to school. So we're that is impending and looming right around the corner.
My wife is actually a principal. She teaches a little
Okay.
bit, but she's a principal. She was a teacher for many years.
Yeah.
She actually wants to go back. She's like,
Oh yeah.
I'm ready to go back. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe. They have. I mean, if you don't know somebody who works in education, especially principals, most of them have evening meetings, like
Right.
at least once a week,
Yeah.
if not twice a week, where they're
Yeah.
out another 6 hours after the workday.
Right.
Um,
Right.
it's just they have weekend things, canned drives,
Right.
all. It's just. I mean, I'm like, honey, enjoy your summer because they work you pretty hard at that job.
Yeah.
But in any case, I just want to wish all our viewers a great week. We'll be back here next week. Please let us know what you're doing in the comments, and if you agree or disagree on anything we said. That's what the comments are for. I try to check them every day, if not every 2 days. So love to hear from you. Any final words there, Sir Aga?
No, no, not at all.
All right. Well, until next time, my friends. Peace.